Okay, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, pull up the agenda here. Can we get a call to order? Peter Eckel, Budget Advisory Committee.
Andrew, Budget Advisory Committee, and Horan.
Rita Russell, City Council Liaison.
Jay Knight, Vice Chair, Budget Advisory Committee.
James Horan, Budget Advisory Committee.
Sean Lewis, City Manager.
Laura Schultz Cooper, Budget Advisory Committee.
Tina Prang, City Council Liaison.
Nonas, Budget Advisory Committee.
Nick Palmer, Budget Analyst.
Jenny Nolan, Budget Manager.
Kevin Ingalls, Director of Finance.
Tim Dodd, Deputy City Manager.
Wonderful. Okay, moving on, we will, I believe, approve last month's meeting minutes. Can we get a motion from the committee members to approve the June 4th meeting?
I'll move to approve.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, thank you. New business, and we're going to keep tonight's meeting short. Obviously, I don't want to extend it any longer than I have to, but I do want to just point out that and give some recognition to Laura Cooper, who's served on the committee for, goodness, Laura, I don't know how long, but it's been over a year for sure, maybe 2 years now. And she's contributed so much to our reserve policy and several of the other items we've worked on in the last year plus. And so just want to recognize Laura and her contributions. I'll let you talk in a moment, Laura, but if you just let everyone know where you're moving on to next, so we can all be proud of what you're doing, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Thanks all. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to serve alongside all of you for the past close to 2 years. I am attending a graduate program in London in the UK, so we'll be relocating there in a little bit over a month. And plan is to come back after that has wrapped up. But yeah, I'll be getting my master's in development economics. So thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. So I guess the good news is you will be back to Inglewood after that's done. So maybe we can get you back on the committee. So that's good news. Okay, moving on. Also, we have a newly appointed alternate member, Nicholas Nonas. I have not met you yet, but I'll look forward to meeting you between now and probably our August City Council meeting. But anyway, welcome to the committee. If you'd like to talk for 30 seconds and share a little bit about yourself or why you're interested in helping us out on the budget committee, that'd be appreciated. If not, you can just pass and we'll move on.
Okay. I've been in Englewood a good many years. My medical practice for about 4 decades was a Swedish hospital. And the last 5 years, we have moved to Englewood. We live close to Swedish Hospital, which makes sense. And looking forward to being on this committee. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Welcome.
You're welcome.
Is your spouse Edie?
Yes, she's my
Okay.
wife.
I'm connecting the dots. Awesome.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Nicholas. I'll look forward to meeting you. And I will just share a personal note. I was born at Swedish Hospital. I won't say how many decades ago, but I love Inglewood too. And we're so happy to have another great perspective in the community join us. And so thank you for your service.
And Peter, before we move on to the next item, could we go back to recognition of public comment? We don't have any
Yes.
people from the public in the room, but
Okay.
especially
Well, go ahead. We'll do a recognition of public comment out of order. If anyone would like to speak, you have up to 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I don't see anybody online, so I think we're-
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, hopefully everyone's celebrating our Independence Day. We'll move on to looks like the annual election of officers this month. The committee shall organize, adopt administrative rules and procedures and elect from its members such officers as it shall deem necessary to accomplish its purpose. I won't go into that. There was a extended budget advisory committee ordinance in 2013. You're more than welcome to look it up, and maybe we'll go over it next month. But officers of the committee shall be elected for a 1-year term. No officer shall serve in the same capacity for more than 2 consecutive terms. With that, I am at the end of my, I believe, Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm at the end of my 2nd consecutive term as the chair. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I can no longer be the chair of the committee starting, I believe, August 1st. Is that right, Jenny?
Actually, as of today.
As of today, wonderful. I mean,
Election. You have to pass the baton.
so I can't wait to pass the baton. Thank you for those confirmations, Jenny. I love this committee, and I'll continue working on the committee. I won't go into how much longer I'll be on it. I don't know when I term out. But I should also add in that moment that James Horan, he was reappointed as a regular member, I believe, last month. Is that right, Jenny?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're so thankful to have James back. I really hoped that he was going to renew his, I don't know what the right term is, but be reappointed. And so we're happy to have James back. He has more knowledge of this committee than anyone on it. And I will open the floor up to those who would like to make nominations at this time. Please feel free to nominate who you believe you'd like to be for chair and vice chair. Is that okay, Jenny, to do both at once?
Sure.
Okay, I'll open the floor.
But we'll have separate elections.
Okay, separate elections, chair and vice chair. Anyone who wants to put their name up or anyone who would like to nominate anyone, please go ahead. And if no one wants to, I'm happy to be the first to speak. Okay. All right. Well, given James tenure, I would like to nominate James for chair. And I don't know if Nevin is present or not. I don't remember if I heard him speak. But given also tenure, I know Jay, he was our vice chair last year. He has been an integral part of the committee. But based on my conversation with Jay, I believe that I will not nominate Jay for chair, although he's very deserving of it. I just think given what he's shared with me that I will nominate Nevin for vice chair and James for chair, unless there are anybody who doesn't agree with that.
Anyone else interested?
You're gonna do a great job, Nevin.
I think in terms of experience, you're next.
I truthfully thought I was term limited, so I was surprised when Jenny said, turn your application in. I'm so grateful that you're not.
We're so grateful for all of you. So.
Right, do the nominees accept nomination?
Sure.
They both have accepted Peter.
You have to have a second.
Technically, we do, don't we?
I'll second.
Okay. Wonderful. Laura, I think you can still second.
I'll second. Which one did you second?
I'll second the chair.
And I'll second the vice chair.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that means we need to vote.
Do we need a motion?
So
think we need two separate motions, right?
Yeah,
Two separate motions. Okay, a motion that
Chair.
James is nominated for chair and a motion that Nevin is nominated for vice chair for the next 12 months.
I'll second the motion to nominate James for chair.
Thank you. I second that. Well,
I'll second the motion for Devin for vice chair.
I agree.
I guess we're getting
A motion for vice chair.
Hmm?
Who placed the motion? Vice chair.
Oh,
That would be long.
Should we maybe do one motion, second it?
Good idea.
So I don't know if we should put forward the motion again, but I'll put forward the motion for the consideration of James as chair of the Budget Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Congratulations, James.
Congratulations.
Awesome. That's great, James. We're really grateful for you and thanks for all the expertise you bring. Okay, so vice chair, can someone start that one up?
I'll move to have Nevin be vice chair.
And I'll second. I'll abstain from this one.
Didn't work for me.
Think we're ready to vote?
Let's vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Really
Congratulations.
appreciate your faith.
Well, we're thrilled. You know, everyone has brought so much to the committee over the, well, I say years. I mean, now we have we have a new member and we have some people that have been involved just in the last couple of years. And of course, we're going to miss Laura. But thank you, Jay, for serving as vice chair this last year. I appreciate it.
Great job.
Okay, ask for nominations. Nominees accept nomination. Did that. Motion to vote. Did that. Okay, well, congratulations. Moving on. Discuss and draft the annual report to include focus on reserve policy presented to City Council on August the 3rd. Please note that in your calendars. You know, I guess at this point, I'll just offer this and then I'll let the new chair run the meeting. I will commit whatever time is needed this month, call it 30 days, to finish the report. We met with City Council, correct me where I'm wrong, Jenny or others, was it April or May? I think it was April to present this. So I would just
Yeah.
council.
I think it was May 4th. We presented.
Okay, May 4th. Okay, so May 4th, I would just ask that everyone just take some notes on the meeting. It was relatively brief. I think we started at 6 or 7 o'clock that night to present the reserve policy, which there was a lot of feedback from council. So thank you, Rita. Thank you, staff. Thank you, Tina. I know they're both the liaisons for us. So just watch that. And I think at this point, I'll circulate, maybe through Jenny, we'll circulate the document early next week and just ask that everyone take a look. I will highlight a few things once that's circulated that need to be adjusted. And I don't want to call another meeting this month, but I guess that's up to the new chair if we need to do that, or maybe we can meet in pairs and complete the small sections that need to be finished. And I guess at that, maybe I'm done being chair. So James, what do you think?
Sure. Thank you, Peter. And I just want to acknowledge Peter's service. I think he's been an excellent chair, one of the most active that I've had the pleasure of serving with on this committee, and definitely brings a lot of passion and care for this community and commitment. So thank you, Peter. And I'll try not
You're
to
welcome.
mess things up.
You're welcome. I appreciate that.
Okay, well, I was not expecting to be in this role when I walked in the room this evening. So Nevin, please jump in early and often here. I welcome that. But I've opened up some note taking here so that we can kind of do an outline of our report that we do annually for City Council's consideration. And in my experience, the report typically has somewhere between 6 to 8 sections that are decided kind of at this meeting as a group. And then we typically pair off or individually volunteer to kind of take the lead on a section. And Jenny, just if you could remind me, we can have up to 2 of us in the document at the same time. Right. But if the third person shows up, someone needs to leave. Okay. And so I've personally enjoyed it when I've been able to pair up with another member of the Budget Advisory Committee on particular sections. But that doesn't have to happen. If there's a section that you're particularly passionate about or knowledgeable about, you can certainly take the lead, as every member of the committee will have access to the document and can add comments for everyone to see. So with that, I think I'll just open it up for discussion, and I'll try to model positive behavior here by saying I'm willing to take the lead on the introduction and conclusion, which I've done on a few occasions over the years, but would welcome anyone who'd like to join me on those. And so.
Sure, and I will add, James, with that, I know that City Council wants to see the finished reserve policy, which I believe we should deliver within the report. There's a lot of work, obviously, that's been put into that, and I think it's very close to being done, and I'll commit whatever's needed to finish that. And then I think we should definitely have an intro and a summary to highlight the year. And then I don't know if you all really want to do a bunch of sections this year, or we should focus on finishing the reserve policy. Plus, I will ask council. I know that Tina had something that she wanted us to explore based on CPI and local implications. So I'll open that up to her if she's present, and or Rita. And then I'll just leave it at that. So I think that the bulk of the report can really be focused around the work that we've been perfecting in the reserve policy. Plus something, if you guys want to add something.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, I just had an interest in exploring with this group whether there would be expertise and an interest in creating a local CPI. As we look at budgets and building the budget for upcoming years, we do rely on our regional CPIs. But I believe that this group has a great level of smarts and expertise on how to do these things. And so to refine our efforts and the projections that are put into the budget to build it out, I think that would be a great strength and tool for council to use, to especially when we're looking at limited dollars and being able to allocate those limited dollars to just really refine our efforts. I don't know if Rita has anything else.
I don't.
So you're suggesting that as a topic for our work plan for the coming year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that there's been some work through the city clerk's office to, look at having goals for each group. I think that could be one of the goals for this group, if the group was interested in working on that. I know for me as an individual council member, just having a more refined look to influences that are specific to Englewood would be huge.
Is that something we're looking to do for the annual report, or something to put on for the year ahead?
So,
It could be both.
so one of the things that we typically do with this report, we talk a little bit about some of the major projects and work that we've done over the past year. And then we speak to some of the projects and work that we're looking to in the year to come. And so I think the suggestion is that this could be something that we consider adding for the year to come and consider over the coming year.
And I think also it would be helpful in the annual report to just update council on the acceptance or not of that suggestion that was made. Just so that we can kind of follow through on asks and, Rita and I can have that role as liaison to follow through any conversations that we have with the group.
So circling back to having reserve policy be kind of a centerpiece of this year's annual report. I know Nevin, you and Peter were driving, Laura as well, but I know you're leaving in a month. So would you guys be willing to take kind of point on that section?
Yeah, I'm happy to take that section. I'd like for us to maybe, break up the report in by what did we work on this year? And so if there are specific projects that we worked on that people feel more inclined to include in this report, I'd like to include those, and then a section on what we intend looking forward to prioritize this coming year.
Just because I needed to look it up, I went back and viewed our report from last year. So we had an introduction, then we moved into sales and use tax audit, then into the reserve policy, and then into the CIP, then recognition and conclusion. So that was 6 total sections, 3 of which were quite large.
And those were all kind of about things we did over the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I know the big focus, side note from council this last year, was the reserve policy. In fact, I think it's been almost 2 years. We've put a lot of work into that. Laura has contributed a lot to that. Jay, James, Nevin, myself, Andrew. So thank you. I feel like that should be a primary consideration. I like your idea, Nevin, that let's add what we need to do next year as well, and kind of how we're going to approach that and address Tina's budget and, CPI implications going forward.
I think another section that we'd want to include as a regular part of our report, or that I'd recommend, is our review of the voter approved initiatives, since we're tasked formally with doing that.
I agree. I think we should include that as one of the sections for the projects we worked on this year.
I support that.
So do we have a volunteer to kind of take the lead on the CIP section?
I can give it a go.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
Okay, and for the voter approved initiatives section? Okay, Jay. Wait. And Nicholas or Nick? Would you?
Nick is fine.
Nick, okay. So as an alternate, you're absolutely welcomed to join in that. I know you're new to the committee, but providing feedback or things like that. So I just want to be really
Well,
clear
good
about
on
that.
Encouraged, but all of these meetings are available online. We have video recordings, and if there's a subject that you're interested in, we can look back through our meeting minutes and figure out which dates we were working on those, and if you're willing to review those and share your thoughts or help us write a summary, that would be very much appreciated.
All right, so what I have so far then is an introduction and then a look at the things that we did this year, which includes the reserve policy, the review of the alternatives to policing and transportation initiatives, the capital improvement projects that Andrew's going to take point on. And did we want to include sales and use there? I know that was a considerable topic of discussion. Or did we kind of table that?
So like with the sales and use, would we want to break that out into its own section? Oh, like separately from the voter approved initiatives?
Good, yeah.
Okay. Is anybody interested in working
I think most of it's a follow-up to the changes that were made by the police department, which during that meeting, we were all very happy with how those changes went. So I think it's mainly a follow-up. So it could be its own section. I don't think it'll be much of a long one.
to me, I don't necessarily, I feel like it could probably be incorporated into the voter approved initiatives, but I
Yeah.
don't feel strongly either way. So
We just, I'll include it in the voter approved initiatives.
Any other items that members would like to see included in to reflect this year's work in the committee?
This year as in the upcoming year that we're going into.
The year that we're just wrapping up, that is going to be kind of encapsulated in our report there.
one other thing, we certainly spent some consideration on the format and some suggestions for various elements of these meetings and requests to staff. So I don't know if any of those topics would be worth including either in their own section or as kind of an amalgamated, like processes section. But I don't know whether any folks here feel strongly about including that or not.
I could reference that in the introduction,
Sure.
if that makes sense, just kind of the ongoing progression of our process refinement.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Which has been great over the last 4.5 years I've been involved. So good job, committee.
Okay, any other topics for the report? Okay. Well, then looking forward, as we look at kind of a work plan, and I'm not talking about a schedule, I think we're going to be looking at that at next month's meeting, correct, Jenny? But just in terms of a work plan or previewing for council, what this group will be focusing in on. I do have the local CPI down. Are there any other items that we'd like to include in this kind of preview section of the annual report?
I know Rita or Tina have a couple ideas. Maybe
I
not.
don't have any other ideas. I think the local CPI is going to be a relatively heavy lift. So I would be happy to see the reserve policy implemented and kind of a schedule of reporting out to council that comes along with that, kind of refining another look at how often the group believes that they can run through the process and report out to us. And then, yeah, I think the CIP is gonna take some work.
I will volunteer to work to finish the reserve policy to present with a periodic recommendation as we've discussed in prior meetings. So I'll happily handle that section if anyone wants to help me.
Uh, I'm also happy to work on that. I attended that meeting virtually and was able to hear some of council's feedback. And in the working copy that we have as a Google Doc, I started to mark up some changes and comments based off of council feedback.
Councilwoman Russell, did you have any additional items that you'd like or this group to potentially look at?
I don't really have anything right now off the top of my head.
Well, and this is just a preview. I'm sure we'll have additional discussion as we get into the new term here. So, okay. And then I have acknowledgements down as everyone owns that. So please take a look at that section and add anything you'd like there. And then I'll take point on the conclusion. And Jenny, I can send you this kind of outline for you to share with the whole group. Can someone remind me, how did we start the document last year? Like who kind of put the headings in and then kind of had names behind it? Was it a volunteer from the members or?
I wasn't here in that meeting, so I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Evan, do you remember?
I am.
I think I contributed. Go ahead,
No, if you have an answer with some certainty, I have a little bit of haziness. I don't quite remember.
I think I just rolled last year's and added the new topics with people's names after them, just so we knew who split what sections.
And is the new Google Doc something that staff is able to assist with?
I will have to ask IT. I do not know how to use Google Docs.
Totally fair. I know last time, I think that was something that Tyson sent out, but I don't want to, put us in a.
I am familiar with Google Docs. How can I help?
So we just need for you to share a Google Doc with us. So
A
that-
draft one so that all got one together?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
a blank one?
Yep.
I can do that now. No problem.
And Jenny, could you please send out a copy of last year's report to the entire committee? I can't seem to find it in my records. So.
That'd be fantastic. And in between now and our next meeting, if folks feel strongly, please add comments or suggest changes to other sections, even if it's not one that you're assigned to. And feel free to include questions or any of that as a comment. If there are any, between now and our next meeting, if anybody has like a sudden inspiration to add a section, feel free to add that as a comment or whatever, or suggestion.
So Laura, if you don't have enough to do in the next 30 days, get preparing for your.
I'm not sure when my official transition date is, but I am happy to support
We would
in a
welcome
minor
that.
way.
All right. Well, I think we've got then kind of the framework for composing our report for the year that was. So I'll hop back here onto the agenda and see what we've got left.
And just may I add just one more note? I know this has been said before, but I think we can only have 2 people in the document at once. So feel free to save an offline, like you can download an offline copy and then come back and add that later. Just copy and paste it in, but try not to have more than 2 people in the document at once.
Well, we can't, right? Yeah.
Do we want to explain that to for our new members' sake?
Um,
Some of the provisions?
just in line with city's policies and
Open requests or
Well,
open meeting.
Colorado's sunshine laws. It's we cannot have communication outside of official meetings between more than 2 members on this committee. Otherwise, we are potentially running afoul of the city's policies and if relevant, Colorado sunshine laws.
So even with emails, replying all is something we can't do.
Yes.
And with online documents, more than 2 members would be considered almost triggering a meeting. And then with a meeting, you have to have open documentation, notify the public.
Agenda.
So any meeting with more than 3 people on this committee present needs to have advanced public notification. And obviously, if the meeting is often a document, incidentally, that is not something that we can give public notice for. So we have to like leave the document and work on offline. And if you do have any questions about that, I think one other thing that actually may be worth adding to our looking forward section is during the last meeting, I think we discussed reviewing some of our, and this might go under process stuff, but since it's looking forward, we could consider adding the review of our handoff documentation for new members and associate members. Something to add to that moving forward. Okay.
All right, anything else related to our annual report before we go to the next agenda item? All right, so I see here that we're referencing a copy of the 2027 non-discretionary capital request memo to the city manager and finance director. It was sent on June 10th. And there is a link in our agenda if you wanted to look at the document in its entirety. Do we have any discussion of that?
Just to reiterate appreciation for drafting that and doing all of the heavy lifting on that one.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
And it's not a big deal, but in the signature, I was listed twice.
Wow.
I'm not that important. But just in case that's copied and pasted somewhere.
All right. Well, next up, we've got our upcoming meeting schedule. And as Peter alluded to, I guess before we go into that, well, we do have a meeting, it looks like scheduled for July 23rd to discuss and finalize our budget advisory committee annual report. So we'll have 2 meetings this month. And then our next regular meeting will be on August 6th. But on August 3rd is the actual presentation of the report to City Council. And so I think we've normally had between 2 to 3 members that attend in person and help with that presentation. And I guess I'd open it up to any volunteers who'd like to be there. I'll certainly be there. And I think Nevin.
And I am happy to be there to address questions about the reserve policy specifically.
I'll likely be there.
All right. You want to make it a party?
I will, yeah, I will
Okay.
try to be there. We have family visiting in town and depends what the wife and kids tell me I'm allowed to do.
Okay, fair. Okay, great. So we have our delegation to head to council and present the report. So looking at next month's regular working session, looks like we have the city attorney's office on deck, IT and human resources. So some very important departments that make the city work. And I think we'll also add to the agenda, Jenny, for that meeting, a discussion of kind of the schedule for the upcoming year of departments. I think we normally do that in August.
It's the working session, so.
Okay, great.
We'll have the presentations first and then departments can exit the room and then continue on with building the work plan.
All right, sounds good. So I think with that, we're all already up to members' choice.
Just touching on the working session and the department presentations. Those presentations they're specifically going to be about developing the budget for the upcoming budget year.
It's gonna be more of a look back.
A look back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a current template, unless you guys have changes to that template.
I guess that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question for members. Have you guys generally been satisfied with how the presentations have gone over the last year?
I have been, and from what I believe, it had changed previous to me coming on, but with some deliberate intention to shorten them and also highlight specific areas of interest. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding now that we're going into a new term. Are we just cycling through the same departments that we have been to hear about just how we're a year ahead, how they've used the budget or how they're looking to use future budget?
Yeah, every year we look we view presentations by each department, and it as you've seen, it kind of covers both of those, right? What sort of budgetary challenges each department's had, where they're looking at large budget items that they're anticipating may be coming in the near future, and where they are at relative to the budget as written, right? And I think in exactly like you said, this past year we made some changes and asked for those presentations to be shortened, and then asked for some additional information after that. And I don't really have any strong feelings about a need to change that format. Does anyone else?
No, I think what I'm about when we were talking about onboarding new members, and now I'm just coming on 1 year, being deliberate about all being understanding of what we're supposed to get out of the presentations and what has been asked of those departments. And then even broader, building some of the context of what work we're doing into the minutes and what we discuss, almost framing the work. Because trying to figure it out on context clues alone is a lot of wasted energy in my mind. And now that we have a new member, I feel obligated to prevent some of those gaps from continuing if possible.
Absolutely.
Well, and I'd like to say something too, Nevin, when you're done. Or before.
I was just gonna say, I don't want to add too much to your plate, but if you're willing to help me in developing some of those considerations as we do that review of handoff documentation, and if you're willing to even help write that section, but also like help with that consideration process as one of our freshest people. Likewise, as you're coming on, if there's information that wasn't in the documentation that was provided to you that you think would be helpful, please share that, because that's genuinely kind of the purpose of looking at those materials and trying to figure out what we need to
Oh.
have.
Well, and I'm gonna just throw in, Andrew, I love your point. Nevin, I love it. Just a little history is all I wanted to mention, is that, you know, we used to kind of, I don't know, a few years ago, just go through the normal, I don't know what the right term is, the normal presentations. And I think our drive in the last year or 2 or 3 was to say, hey, we love all the departments. We love hearing about what we're doing, but also this is the budget committee, which, yeah, I know it's a little boring. But we also want to make sure that we're working through the ordinance and what city council and city staff want us to do, which is to assist them in making good decisions about the budget and financial implications. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We did ask that the departments shorten the presentations to 20-ish minutes. I know that's hard with some of the departments. That wasn't a hard and fast rule. It was just more, hey, we're really interested in the financial implications. And yeah, sure, we want to know the update. But we also want to like respect our working time during the meetings. So that's just a history bit.
And Peter, for the record, there is absolutely nothing boring about the budget. We are
Yeah, well,
it's dynamic.
well,
And that is why you're chair.
thanks, James. I love that. And I work in property tax of all taxes. So yeah, my life is not very thrilling between the budget committee and my daily job in tax. Thanks, James.
I think it would have been helpful for me just to know where to look for the budget so I could see what the format was and so forth. I think that would have been, someone new coming on, that would be very helpful. Sure.
And I guess another thing I'd like to put forward to the group, and Andrew, you kind of triggered this in my mind, but when we have a new member come on, we are allowed to have a pair working together. And so I'm wondering, as a new member comes on, would we want to kind of do a conversation, kind of an orientation with a new member, either from from one of the more senior members or a recent new member? I think you'd have a unique perspective on that. I don't know, Nick, if you would
That would be
be
helpful.
open to that.
Sure would.
And Jenny, that's allowable, right? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd be happy to share contact info.
Good.
Great.
Yeah, and I bring it up just as I've come through the first year. And it was that somewhat existed. Lauren was very helpful when I first came on to reach out in that capacity. Just carrying over from work mindset of creating the context in the work so that as we do it, it just takes less effort for someone to understand what it is we're trying to accomplish. And then also with deliberate onboarding, I think what we touched on would really be helpful to shore up.
Okay, great.
And there's also just been a lot of additional work that has come to this committee over the last 2 years that has made it atypical since I've been here. So like when I was an alternate, which did not last long,
I warned you.
everyone was learning like, okay, no, we have this, the voters asked for this particular thing. We have volunteered as a committee to be a part of it, or to fill out the role of the citizen committee that the voters requested as a part of that referendum. So I hear what you're saying. There's, I do think like there is a dynamic part of this committee where we have taken on more than kind of what was, I think, attributed to this committee maybe when it was started. So.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
And Jenny, you have a document that kind of provides an overview of, I think it's, forget the title of it, but I got it when I was a new member from you. It was like an overview of the city budget process or something like that.
think, yeah, let me find that. Yeah. Definitely share that again.
If you're able to, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to, at the chair's discretion, add an item onto the agenda here and open up not only to members' choice, but starting out with council and city staff choice. So if there are any items before we go to members' choice.
I would just like to share, I just want to tell you all, thank you very much for the work you've been doing and how hard you've been working, especially in the last few years, because I think in the last 3 or 4 years, the changes and more has been added to your plate has been incredibly helpful to the city. And I greatly appreciate that. It's helped me understand a lot of things that are going on also. And I don't know, Laura, if this is your last meeting. I just want to tell you, thank you for everything you've done. And it's been amazing. And I appreciate your service to the city.
It's really good.
Absolutely.
I would echo what Member Russell already said. There has been a lot of ask of this group. Take that in the cup. And I personally believe, like, if you're going to give of your time and show up and give of your expertise, it should be meaningful. And so I think of many of our boards and commissions, the work that this group in particularly does is directly connected to the conversation that we're having on the dais. And I know that it helps guide my decision making, and even some of the work that Nevin, you've done on the sales and use tax definitely helped refine some of my thinking around that. And so it is deeply valuable. And I agree, Laura, you've been such an amazing asset to this group. I know you're going to do great things moving forward, and hopefully we'll see some of that when you come back to Inglewood. I guess also for not really a choice, but report out from council. There's just a lot going on at all times. But right now we are very much still continuing to refine and finalize the strategic plan. There's been kind of some back and forth on that document and what it looks and feels like. I think that we largely have our outcome areas nailed down, and look forward to city staff coming back and offering up some ideas on some of the key projects that should be included in each of those areas. So I think it's going to be a really strong effort. A lot of thanks to Deputy
In front of you right
now. And so that just continue to clue into that conversation. I'm pretty proud of the work that council has done this year on just taking it a little deeper or in a different kind of direction and formulating that new vision moving forward. We also on Monday night are reviewing or taking our first vote on a PUD that's come forward and recommendations from planning and zoning for a new daycare in Inglewood, which is very exciting. Also some conversation needed around that. There's some implications to traffic in an area that's already has some traffic issues. So I'll be interested to see where that conversation goes on Monday. And also just really re-gelling as a newly formed group with a 7th member has been interesting and exciting. Every time that a new voice is added to the conversation, it adjusts things, and it's been a welcome addition from my perspective. And I think that we have a really strong council right now. I'm pretty proud of how we're really kind of bringing forward everybody's voices a little more strongly, and the diversity of voices, and having the types of conversation that should be happening that is representative of not only our individual voice, but how we're representing our constituents as well. So I guess that's what I have as the council update for now.
Thank you, sure.
You're welcome.
Any other city staff? No? All right, well then we'll go right into members' choice.
I'd just like to encourage any folks that haven't gotten the chance to watch the video recording of our presentation of the reserve policy to city council. I know everybody here has a lot to do, but I think that is something that would be valuable. We got a lot of helpful feedback. I think that is going to significantly change the way that we approach that. Those suggestions, and I especially in the conclusion section, I think is gonna have some changes, and even how we consider the factors and whether we weight factors were all considerations from council. So if anybody wants to view that feedback and then look through that document and add comments, those are welcome. Of course, I'm going to be working on that, as will Peter, but not to add more to everybody's plates. And I want to try and make sure that we have some progress on this between now and our next meeting later this month. But I just wanted to put that out there.
Any others for members' choice? All right. Well, I think with that, we'll adjourn, and I'll wish you all a happy and safe holiday weekend.
What is the program again?
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna dox myself. It's development economics at London School.
That's
So,
So, yeah, so it's like in London.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna figure out housing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an exciting journey, and it's a 12-month program. So, yeah, so I'm knocking it out. Yeah, and I'm staying at like, I'm counting my hours, but I like the challenge, so I'm really excited. So Jane.
You're still looking for a job. Yeah, I think they're public administration. But it was like.
Is this your
I'm
the chair?
No, I just-
Oh.
My best friend, dad, growing up Sure, bad year. I don't go meat industry.
Right.
Opportunities.
I'm willing, because I really do.
My one son.
Good. Yeah, I was actually out of town most of the 3 weeks.
Kind of decided, I already had one client.
I guess is the best way, and I.
Maybe I leaned in on that. I just actually 2 weeks ago started with a new client. but
No, I-
now I'm like,
No, I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing, you know,
The things they're doing.
And I was like, I want.
Obviously, you're focused.
yeah, so things are working great. I'm paying my mortgage. I'm scared. I was able to do a refi. I got very lucky.
So you still.
Yeah, I'm still over by.
Yeah, and there will be a lot.
So the California.
Okay, but I think two, like one term, you're next in line, so.
All of my clients are generally companies that are doing very well in either their commodity market or, so I have another company called Wicked Crit out of North Carolina. They sell veggie chips and hummus chips. And so They've been in retail.
So
here.
it's curious to me, kind of that
Knows.
overlap of that,
But,
like, terrain
Yes.
they want to
with.
expand into the consumer. So that's
Yeah.
where I come in. I build out that entire.
I might just start this.
Well, it means land.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a little supportive, but also,
I'm sure you can't say, yeah, now I can, but that's okay. That's, you're doing amazing at what was that.
Where do you
I
live?
don't want to be a marketing. So,
I'm more
my
by-
goal is to
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I learned some of it every week.
Spot over there, I don't mind
Thank you.
meeting you.
Yeah, so.
I work,
Well, best of luck to you and safe travels.
generally, like, Sundays are.
I don't want to help too many people because I don't want to.
Oh, and I
get my
will.
hopes up.
I'll be grand.
Thank you.
What kind of work do you do?
I work, for the,
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Bill Wyden.
Okay, let me throw this glass away.
If you're ready.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, every, like, I'm not involved with the.
Oh, you did this.
Yeah, still, I'm glad others
Yeah.
You're just not wanting
Oh,
to
yeah.
do.
Yeah, we're really strongly with that.
I will likely be.
Oh,
Oh.
Same section.
yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah, and so it's too.
And both of my clients are in other states, so I'm gonna travel away. So, I'm seeing what the reality is going to allow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good thing and congratulations.
We're super excited.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Rita.
Yeah, it's, hi, Carol. That would be the place that's coming on the committee. Major swim, a lot of things to do what is needed and all of that, but I can't imagine. I work for the state and I've been there for 18 years. I really feel like I sold my soul. But it's just a very, very stable job and I have great insurance and so that's something that you just don't need.
Well, we're glad to have you working on that.
Challenging.
Well,
What's your number?
It's 970.
you've already in this country had.
Okay.
379
Yeah.
Somebody that went to.
0.
Yeah.
It's kind of-
I was at-
I get nostalgia this time. Fourth of July is all.
You're like, yeah.
It's,
I'm starting to build my bucket.
And I
Yeah, I'm trying to get done.
a combination of
Each generation.
Eva and Hebrew.
People who know you.
Thanks for
But,
Okay, so I'll be on my Christmas break. I'm not.
that mortgage
Oh,
part,
so
the
yeah.
insurance
Oh,
part.
Yeah, yeah, I could,
Thank
I could.
Thank
use
you.
Someplace quiet.
And
My biggest.
60% of the company got laid. So pretty much everyone that I knew at that company, which was out of the Denver tech center.
I'm hearing things that I've heard.
You're gonna fit
before.
Yeah.
Already after.
I'm pretty, I've been hanging with her.
22 and
So, Sundays are.
Now, on the marketing side of things, the people that I know.
All right, I'm out of here.
Different parts of marketing. It's
Enjoy your long
rough.
day.
You, I tell people.
I can also.
It's so nice to meet you.
I saw your.
Yeah.
I'm saying good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
He was working
I am
for
very excited.
Amazon, cut his hours. It's just like, but he found a new job.
Yeah, even though we have increments to this throughout the state, in a way, teach it similar to what your company
It's
is
a great
like.
place to.
Yeah.
I always.
No, no.
Yeah, it's free for me.
And so that's a little nerve wracking.
And I applied to a position for the state and I even had veteran preference.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. So nice to meet you. Welcome.
57.
Thanks, Evan, for everything. Jay,
It's
thank
very
you.
competitive
I'm out of here.
jobs because I need to catch Rita before she runs out, but thanks for sharing
Yeah.
your story.
Sure.
So I'm pretty much flexible. Evenings are always good. Sundays.
Great. Yeah. It's whatever works best for you. I'm also available weekday mornings, early, like 6, but I have to be at Capitol by.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You got a lot of, like.
I didn't Dan picked it up.
vacation.
Just look at us as
Toward the end of the
things
day.
are relevant.
Normally no one else.
Kind of. I feel like typically on Thursdays I'm playing catch up and then, you know, Friday night
Actually
and
looking
stuff.
forward to
Stop
more
working
quiet
Friday,
days.
Friday, sunset.
Yeah,
So it's
although I've got a,
a little bit of
I don't know if they're
a
gonna do it
challenge.
this year because of how dry it is.
The
but
Hey,
typical-
what
we
is
usually
your,
have some
why don't I take your neighbors, I'll say
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
contact
So
number.
that's more fun for me, because then if they get in trouble, it's
You
not
get
me.
to
So my email is
Yeah.
first name, N-E-V-A-N.
Well, there was a pretty good debate on Monday,
Period.
where the city was gonna do the fireworks for us. Oh, I didn't
Last
see
name,
that.
M-A-N.
Was it a no? No, they're gonna move forward and decision
Nailed
today.
that.
All right, based on wind and. That's the nice thing about where I live over on Federal is if I get on my roof, I can see everything. Yeah. Maybe how many shows there really are. When I was on my
Okay.
first deployment,
Nice
it
to meet
was-
I'll get in touch with you.
we got on a
prefer,
plane across the United States from California to Maine,
You know, like, if
at
I
night
apologize,
on July 4th,
Oh, yeah.
I typically
So-
don't answer either during my workday just because
2005.
kind of lock in, but
And man,
after that,
you just see fireworks everywhere. Here especially.
This is a holiday.
Yeah.
Yes,
for sure. I appreciate it.
It sounds like you need a holiday.
Yeah, I'm going to help my dad move furniture, so
All right, okay.
it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, we've been doing.
Congrats to you on finishing out the term.
Ah,
Appreciate
yes.
all the work you did.
Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, pleased to
Jay,
meet you.
Thank you very much.
My wife has mentioned several of the names that I've run into here already.
Well, I got mentioned, huh? Probably because I got in trouble.
Well, she's been on 2 committees, so
Oh, okay.
she's gotten to meet most everybody.
Thank you, Nicholas.
No, mentira.
Enseñando el salón. Una lámpara esa. ¿De cuál? ¿Una lámpara de cuál? Que no vi. Hoy, estoy enseñando el. Y aquí están las ayudas. Parte de las ayudas. No van a estar gente, van a estar como pollo. Si apoyan o no, si apoyan o no apoyan de corazón, no importa, no apoyan. Que necesitan no está viendo si otro apoyo de corazón. Bueno, creo que no, si no es correcto. Y a ver, un poco mi cabello que se va, no, estos días no fue. Pero vamos a ver algún día. Me lo voy a rapadito. Bueno, rapadito no, como no me mamo, todavía no fue. Esa que me amor como, me dejo como 3 centímetros de cabello, nada más para 3. Y así, pero sabes que no me conectaba bien. Dame como un poquito de ayuda. Se ve el cabello. Está el ánimo de uno, ¿verdad? No es por nada, pero el cabello y la ceja, ¿verdad? Y las pestañas.